is a warning.
You had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this. And then you had the mayor, who's a black woman.
I don't give a get out!
Geeks and gamers should all die.
I got you! I got you!
I just thought that was interesting. I thought it was fucking hilarious. And thank you, Twitter, for never failing to provide me with something to make content on.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it's been an interesting week given we have the release of The Batman today. I mean, well, really, for whatever reason, I saw showings available on like Tuesday and Wednesday night. I'm going tonight. I don't know if I'll do an official review because I don't know if people really care. Usually I just put it on Twitter or something like that, but you know, I'm pretty excited for it. I think Robert Pattinson is going to do a good job. I think he's going to be a good actor. And, you know, am I worried that they're going to, you know, wokeify the movie? I don't know. Certainly, the actress that plays Catwoman had an insufferable quote about Final Fantasy VII, a game she clearly knew nothing about, whining about how Aerith was a healer and Tifa had a short skirt and blah, 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 blah. But I'm excited to see the movie, and the reviews are coming in, and right now the critics have it at an 85, and the audience has it at a 96, which is insanely high. There's no way this movie's a 96. It's just not possible. I would be shocked. Like, you know, I think this is a huge win if the movie's an 8.5. But again, my numbers for films are pretty low, and like cape films, just they're hard for me to give anything higher than like a 7 or an 8. It just really, it's really hard. The Joker, for example, is one of those films that I think exceeded that because it really wasn't a cape film, really. I think I gave that movie like a 9 or a 9.5. So the Batman, we'll see how this shakes out, but of course, we now have this weird element in our fandom, a bizarre element that is, well, quite frankly, lunatics. We're going to get into all that after a quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access VPN. Look, it's 2022. Everyone should be using a VPN by now. They unlock content, they provide an immense amount of privacy, and much more. From a privacy standpoint, not using private internet access would be like forgetting to mute yourself on Zoom and then talking about your coworkers. For unblocking content worldwide, watching Netflix without private internet access is like paying for an entire spa day, but only getting a facial. Private internet access unlocks content, it adds an extra layer of protection, it conceals your internet traffic, your true IP, yours alone. You can access your favorite content, region-locked content. There are thousands of worldwide server locations, and I've been working with private internet access so long, they have a massive discount for you, my subscribers, when you use the link in the description or in the pinned comment down below. So get protected, get access to all the content you deserve, and save huge by using my custom link in the description or pinned comment down below to get private internet access today. Now, a fellow YouTuber named Cannell, we cover similar topics. He's been around for a long time too, and he grinds, he works hard. I appreciate his level of work and his passion for projects and for fandom. But he gave his review. I don't really watch in-depth reviews before I've seen a movie. I just happen to know that he gave it an 8 out of 10. And there was a clip of his long review, a small clip, right? That clip started circling the internet, and now people want him to, well, not be alive anymore. And it seems like we have this element of the fandom that I have a suspicion that they're like the same people that were Raylos, those like toxic weirdos, far lefties that basically militantly defended The Last Jedi. And then now I think we have the very same people moving over into the Batman. We really should have done a better job gatekeeping. I gotta say that. Like, I used to fight against the idea that there was gatekeeping in like hobbies, because there really wasn't. Like in Magic the Gathering, there used to be all these articles from like this one random whammon who said that she went into a game shop and everyone laughed at her, which never happened. And like I would fight. We should have gate kept our hoppies. We really should have, because we let a lot of people in. I'm not saying specifically women, but that example was of that. There are plenty of awesome female fans of the Batman, I'm sure, but we needed to do a better job keeping weirdos out. Twitter users expressed their outrage for their desire to want YouTuber Ryan Cannell canceled following a clip of his review from the Batman circulating social media platform. Now I'm going to go to the clip because these people are obviously like, I completely understand what Ryan is saying here. Okay, I'm going to play the clip without my commentary, and then I'll say it. So here, it's just 30 seconds. So it's a very long video. They clipped 30 seconds out of it, and now they're all losing their minds.
But there were only a...
Whoops, got to change the audio here. Sorry. You know, I run a very serious system here. Okay.
But there were only a couple good people in this movie. You had Bruce Wayne, Batman, and you had Alfred. Those are the only two good white people. The rest of the three other major players that I would consider like overall like moral good people were, you know, you had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this. And then you had the mayor, who's a black woman. Again, very much on the nose for current day Hollywood. Did not like that.
Okay, so out of context, you know, it sounds like his whole video is about what are the white people doing in this film. I would argue what he's probably speaking of is, you know, the idea, first of all, the race swapping that Hollywood does very commonly nowadays. And, you know, we have also, you know, the overcorrection, some might say, for diversity's sake. Every person of power, you know, white people are always the villains. That's what he's referring to, like the Hollywood trend of that. I don't think his entire review was about, hey, let's talk about what white people are like in this film. Look, the protagonist is white. You know, the hero of the movie, well, maybe he's a hero, I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, is white. All right, now, do I believe if Hollywood could race swap him, they would? Yes, I do. I absolutely believe they would. But like, you know, again, it isn't inherently a good or a bad thing when they do that. It's just lazy. And there are plenty of stories, you know, like there are people out there saying like, everyone thinks Miles Morales is the real Spider-Man. I saw a viral tweet going like that. Ha 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 ha. Like white guys, you know, kids are growing up now and think that Spider-Man's, you know, the real Spider-Man is black. Well, I don't know. The Spider-Man movie just did over $1 billion at the box office. I'm pretty sure people are still pretty pumped with Tom Holland playing Spider-Man. But again, I don't like to ever talk about this. You know why we have to talk about this is because the media talks about it, and there's a clear like initiative within Hollywood. They talk about it openly. It's not like I'm making it up. They literally only give awards based on, do you have enough POCs working the soundboards in your movies? That's a real thing. So like, of course you're going to see increased diversity in films because it's being set as the rules from the top. There's a reason, you know, Lord of the Rings has a black elf and a black dwarf in it. It's not because there's lore to support it. It's because that's what like the awards shows are saying you must do. And even when there isn't lore to support it, If they want to win awards and they want to get the national acclaim, they want to get the free marketing, that's what they have to do. So Ryan, I think, is speaking to, hey, was the film quote unquote woke? Was it like overcorrected? But they took that out of context, and some of these responses are totally unhinged. You see, holy effing racist stuff. No, I don't think it was. Oh, look, a DeSantis lover and Ben Shapiro follower. How do you know these things? You don't know that. Bring segregation back, please, because these white people are getting way too comfortable. With what? I mean, with what? I don't even... DC fandom needs to be cleansed. Well, that doesn't sound like... that sounds like something the bad guy from WW2 should say. Geeks and gamers should all die. 5 retweets, 33 likes. Ryan Cannell deserves to have his face stomped. I want to punch this guy. 7 likes. I want this guy canceled. Oh, look, here. There's a blue butterfly. Yep, here's a Raylo right here. What's up with this scum always making their racist trash videos while seated in vehicles? Guys, get this video reported for racism. What? And then people are reporting it. Like, for what? These lunatics in our fandoms are the worst. And, like, they understand that when they act like this, they create more people that make content that makes fun of them. Because they are obviously in the minority. Cannell went on, now me talking about what I thought was, I thought was a good person or shown as a good person in the movie. If you actually go watch it, it was about a small segment that I did about things that I did not like about the movie based on identity politics. He declared, anyone with an IQ above room temperature could understand that what I'm talking about here is not simply, well, there are more good black people than good white people, so I didn't like it. It was talking about the fact that every other white person, every single white person in the movie is portrayed as evil. Every living white person in this movie is portrayed as an evil piece of garbage except for Batman and Alfred. That's what the statement is talking about. That's what I'm trying to get across. Even though it didn't ruin the movie for me, you can't get away from the agenda in Hollywood right now. That's obvious. We all understand and know that. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I'll have to see, I'll see the movie for myself tonight. But it's not uncommon these days. It really isn't. But it's difficult to tell when it's intentional and when it's unintentional anymore because of the things that the very people that make these films say on camera and say in interviews and say on Twitter. So, and these lunatic fans who want him to lose his life and be removed from YouTube simply for pointing it out proves that he's probably right over the target. Make sure if you get a chance that you check out private internet access. If you don't have a VPN yet, now is the time to get one. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.